On this episode of Unseen.
I feel like I was victim of that. I don't want to use the word victim. I was, in a situation where I wasn't called to bat a lot during my time on the main roster over at WWE. So it's like, yeah, what is there to brag about if I don't have the bat in my hand, But with 205 Live, when the opportunity arose, when I was called up to bat, let's put it this way. I never won the Cruiserweight Championship.
Welcome everyone back to a brand new edition of Unseen. My guest has been a police officer, he's been a politician, and he's been a professional wrestler. So basically, he could pull you over, ask for your vote, and hit a 450 splash. But before any of that, he's placed an order for a second international title run. It's TNA superstar Mustafa Ali. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Hell of an intro. Thank you for that.
Of course. 21 years since the inception of TNA Lockdown, 10 years since the last one. We have superstars like AJ Styles, Abyss, Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle. Some of TNA's most important superstars competed in that cage. And now you get the opportunity to add your name to that history. When you think about Lockdown and what it's meant to the company, what does it mean to be a part of bringing it back?
Apart from how I feel personally, professionally, what I'm very excited about is I feel like TNA is finding this groove of finding its identity again. There was this period of it's trying to, I don't want to say fit in, but it wasn't the TNA that I grew up watching, right? The TNA that I grew up watching was, did you hear about this crazy new match? Did you hear about this crazy thing? And they have this really unique character. It was kind of off the wall. It was literally total nonstop action, and I feel like we're finding that again. And I was really interested to see what the reception would be, because I don't know if the fans of the current era are like fans of the old era, what the reception would be, but they would even know what Lockdown is. And as we can tell, as soon as it was announced, the reception was crazy. And then even the announcement recently about Destination X returning, and then a guy like Amazing Red coming back at Slammiversary and Ultimate, all this cool. I don't even want to call it nostalgic. I feel like it's TNA's identity, and that's coming back and it's being put to the forefront. That's what I'm really excited about. Yes, it's historic. Yes, the building that we're performing in, I know it's called the Credit Union One Arena now, but it's a UIC Pavilion to me, because that's where these really old school matches take place. So again, historic on that. So all that's cool, but what I'm most excited about is TNA really doubling down and saying, no, this is who the hell we are.
Staying on the topic of TNA history, I quickly want to discuss a former mainstay in TNA, and that was the six-sided ring. Yourself being a high flyer, would you be open to its return?
I've heard terrible things about the six-sided ring. I heard it hurts. Here's the thing. I'd like to say my performances are pretty high risk. They're high paced. There's a lot that can go wrong. And most of the times I'm walking back to the locker room because of a slight, by an inch here and there, So me personally, I feel like the introduction of the six-sided ring would worry me. I mean, who knows? Once I'm in it, I might feel fine. But the ring is like a second home to me, man. I know every inch of that. I know every board. I know when something's not right. I can just feel it. A six-sided ring is completely different, and I'm trying to think about it. I think I've only performed in a six-sided ring once in my 24-year career. So,
wow.
So yeah, it's not something that I'm. Yeah. But again, it is cool. I do remember when it was the six-sided ring, and I know it's very prevalent in Mexico and whatnot, but here in the States, it's not. So if it would help the product and the promotion, I'd be for it. But I don't think it's we absolutely need it. So if I had to vote, we're in a democracy, I'd vote no.
Well, TNA in 2026 has such a diverse roster, and you're really at the top of that as one of the current pillars. And I've seen you do that in 205 Live and NXT and really any brand you've ever been a part of. What is it about Mustafa Ali that makes you such a solid mainstay?
I appreciate that. Man, I truly love this. It's the only thing I do. I'm not a sports guy. I don't really watch movies. I don't have a TV show. I don't obsess and like watch wrestling all day every day, but this is what I do. And I truly feel like when I'm there, you have everything. You have my mind, you have my soul, you have my body. I am present in that moment, regardless of what's going on in my personal life, regardless of what's going on in the world. At that exact moment, I'm focusing on that performance of that night, and it's just a genuine desire to give the fans their money. Because I know that's cliche, but I've always said it. If you ever have any hesitation about coming to an event, but you see my name on the card, I got you. Just my match alone will get you. And what you had mentioned specifically about 205 Live, this is not meant to knock anybody, but we have so many talented people, and a lot of people don't get love or credit for their body of work simply because of the reason they were never called up to bat. You got to hit the ball, and the only way to hit the ball is you got to be called up to bat. And I feel like I was victim of that. I don't want to use the word victim. I was, in a situation where I wasn't called to bat a lot during my time on the main roster over at WWE. So it's like, yeah, what is there to brag about if I don't have the bat? But with 205 Live, when the opportunity arose, when I was called up to bat, let's put it this way: I never won the Cruiserweight Championship. But I guarantee you, no one can talk about 205 Live without mentioning me. So I feel like that speaks volumes, And that's going to be in like the last year and a half. You can't talk about TNA without talking about the multiple things that I've done with across the board with talent, matches, promos, entrances. I'm really making TNA total nonstop Ali. So I look forward. I look forward going to Lockdown Sunday, August 23rd, and continuing that.
Yeah, and you're having some sort of like nice homecoming, it seems. TNA Lockdown Sunday, August 23rd at the Credit One Arena in downtown Chicago, which, by the way, tickets are on sale now. You'll be the host also of the Hardy Party on Saturday, August 22nd, Barn Hockey Bar in Chicago. And you're throwing out the ceremonial pitch, first pitch for Chicago White Sox, which, today, all these things. Yeah,
today. 2 hours in. And then tomorrow I got to jump on a plane to Santiago, Chile. Because even though I'm not the international champion anymore, I still gotta. It's been a busy. It's been it's been very, very busy. Even yesterday, I think we did like 6 hours of media.
Wow.
3 hours of radio. So you can kind of tell a little wear and tear on my face, but like. I love that TNA is this is what I want this. I love when I come to work and they go, we need you for 7 segments. So like, great, let's go. I'd much rather be out there on the field waving the flag of TNA than sitting on the sideline and saying, let's see what happens. So when we have a record breaking attendance at TNA, I'm going to take some credit for it. To me, it's a privilege and an honor to be able to do all this. The schedule's been hectic.
10 years ago, you entered the Cruiserweight Classic as an alternate, an underdog, sort of say, and just trying to make the most of an opportunity. And now you're more of a veteran, helping elevate the people around you, in TNA, and still chasing those big moments for yourself. When you look at who you were then versus who you are today, what do you see?
Back then, I think I was just so aware of like, hey, you don't belong here. You're not the guy. You're not. They don't. Really. So kind of just like step on eggshells. Don't offend anybody. Like try to dazzle them a little bit, but like definitely like play low. That's not the case now. Now it's big entrances and like I was telling people yesterday on the media, like I do this thing at TNA where like. I want people to know who's in charge. I want people to know who's in control. So when my music hits, I'm nowhere to be found. I'm a good distance away, sitting in a chair, and my opponent or a producer, someone's panicking, and they come over to me. They go, "Your music's playing." I go, "Okay." Like nothing's gonna happen until I get up, right? So okay, and it's just this weird. But I do it for myself too. It's like this. the zen of like, yo, when you're out there, you're the man, and not, everything's gonna happen when you say it happens. That was not me 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I'm right by the curtain. I'm ready to go. They tell me to go and I go. Now,
Yeah.
no one's gonna tell me when to go. I'll go when I'm ready. With that understanding, with that confidence, with that knowledge, with that power comes responsibility of helping out the next generation. So to me, I don't want to get in a whole spiel about like this, but that's how it's supposed to be. So we have locker room leaders like Nic Nemeth, Frankie Kazarian, obviously the Hardys, living rock stars that have contributed so much to TNA success. So when you have guys like that, Eddie Edwards, the list goes on, man. You have OGs that have done everything. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is going out of their way to stop the next generation from rising. I mean, look at a guy like Leon Slater. Within a year of working with the Hardys, and I know Nic Nemeth and like Eric Young and Eddie Edwards. I know so many guys helped Leon. Myself, I don't want to say myself included, but like Leon and I are friends, and I want him to succeed. But everyone sees it, right? You see, how can you deny that? So we can't wait to do that with the next generation with Jason Hotch and Ricky Sosa and the list goes on, and like all these new knockouts that are coming in. I've spoken very highly of the Elegance brand. I think they're amazing. If you see a cat running around in the background, I apologize. I just saw her.
No worries. I have mine too over here somewhere. He's running around.
Okay, baby girl, you okay? Okay, I don't know where she went, but yeah, I just can't. I think that's one of the coolest things about TNA. It's truly a great mixture of OGs and veterans and legends and the next generation.
Of course. And as we start to wrap up here, I do have a few questions left. One being, you were a champion as the international champion alongside names like Nic Nemeth, Cedric Alexander, the Hardys, guys who at different points in their careers have been overlooked, underappreciated. And to be in a class like that, what does it say about TNA and the group that is now getting the opportunity, to remind wrestling and the world exactly who they are?
I totally get what you're saying, right? It's like a nice little story of like, man, look, they overlooked us, and look at us all now. We're holding champions. There's a lot of peace and solace that comes in your life when you accept that the cookie's going to crumble the way it crumbles, right? I appreciate it. I don't want you to think that like, oh,
No, of course.
I totally get it. But when people go, man, you were so overlooked, I go, yeah, but can we just talk about the now? Like, look what I'm doing now, man. We're doing it right now. Like, did you see that main event I had with Jason Hodge 2 weeks ago? People are still talking about it. So, like, I totally get it, and it's and yeah, you can like, man, you're gonna show them. Like, I'm not doing it for them. I'm not doing it. I don't work there. I don't want to say I don't care, but like that's not on my mind. What happened 5-6 years ago? I don't. Get out of here. Let's talk Lockdown, TNA, The Cage, Frankie and Moose in a cage, the Hardys and them. That's what I care about. So when people go like, oh, look at it, look at them now, I go, it's not that the talent changed. Nothing really changed. We allowed the opportunity to show what we can do. And to wrap that up, it's like the cookie's gonna crumble the way it crumbles, man. Like people in an office that have way more information and opinions that I'm not involved with are going to make a decision. So it goes back to my first point. If in my previous employment, if I was called up to bat, I would have hit a home run. I know. Because right now I was called up to bat and I just hit home run after home run after home run. So there's no like ill will or like it just and why carry that with me? I have a beautiful wife, 3 beautiful kids, a beautiful home. Like life's good, man. But I genuinely appreciate. I know where it's coming from, but I feel like I'm able to have a lot of peace and solace in my life because I go, the cookie's just going to crumble the way it crumbles, and man, do I love cookies. So we're good, baby.
I love it. And the last question for you. You're one of 3 TNA superstars to hold the X Division Championship and the international titles. Only one superstar has held all 3 singles titles in TNA, and that's Frankie Kazarian. Now, despite your pursuit of the international title, does Mustafa Ali become a world champion in TNA?
I think it's like poetic, man. I think it's bound to happen at some point. I really try to not, from a professional standpoint, of course, I want to be a champion. That's like, I'm sorry, from a personal standpoint. From a professional standpoint, from a character standpoint, all I care about, the only thing that's kind of like calibrating my head is what is the natural progression from this story? We're telling this really dynamic story about this Order 4 implosion, right? Like almost like this family feud, this family dynamic of we're all together, but we're still fighting. And now one person got out of line, and this person's out of line, and he's still loyal to the people that are here, but they work for me. So now what happened? Like, who's going to compromise? You know. So I'm just so enthralled in that obviously the World Championship means a lot. It's very prestigious, and I do see myself having that beautiful championship around my waist at some point. But my mind and my soul and everything is just so intertwined with this. Whatever happens from this, I feel like is going to be what's next. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so adamant about like the progression of the story. So when it naturally becomes time to become world champion, you better believe it's going to happen.
I love it. I wish I had some more time with you here. I have so many more questions, but Mustafa,
I'm sorry, man. I'm in demand,
you're
brother.
good.
I'm so sorry.
You're good. You're in high demand.
I'm in high demand.
I want to thank you for your time today, but also, for the great moments and matches that you've given us over your career. You proved that sticking to your beliefs and fighting for your dreams is worth it. And I can't wait to see you hold another title above your head, whether it's the international title or TNA World.
It'll be the international title. Let's get that back. Let's get Order 4 back on the road, and then we'll start the journey to the World Championship.
I love it. You could catch Mustafa Ali Thursday nights on TNA Impact on AMC, AMC Plus in the USA, Sportsnet 360 in Canada, and TNA Plus worldwide. Again, man, thank you for your time.
I appreciate you. Thank you.